The air was thick with salt and tension as the BRP Malapascua, a Philippine Coast Guard vessel, cut through the West Philippine Sea on a routine resupply mission. Suddenly, a massive China Coast Guard ship appeared, its gray hull slicing toward the Malapascua with alarming speed. The radio crackled, warnings in English, then Mandarin, demanding the Philippine ship alter course, claiming Chinese waters. The Filipino captain refused. This was their exclusive economic zone, and Pagasa Island was their destination. The gap between the ships closed rapidly, turning a standard shadowing maneuver into a dangerous game of chicken. The Chinese vessel, far larger, crossed the Malapascua's bow at a perilous distance. Horns blared, a primal warning. For the crew, a collision felt imminent. One wrong move could spark a conflict with global consequences. These near collisions are now routine in these contested waters. Filipino fishermen, supply ships, and patrols face these harrowing encounters with increasing frequency, a calculated strategy of intimidation. Each close pass, each radio challenge, is a test of will, a high-stakes dance where a single miscalculation could trigger disaster. For the Philippines, these encounters are a daily challenge to their sovereignty. The men and women of the Coast Guard and Navy know they are outnumbered, yet their presence is an act of defiance. They are the visible line of defense against a rising power determined to redraw the map of the South China Sea. The West Philippine Sea is more than water. It's a vital maritime crossroads. Over a third of global shipping passes through these lanes, and the seabed holds untapped oil and gas. This immense value has turned the region into a geopolitical hotspot, with overlapping claims from China, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. At the heart is China's sweeping 9-dash line, overlapping internationally recognized exclusive economic zones. To enforce its claim, Beijing deploys a formidable fleet, challenging its neighbors daily. The Philippines calls its portion the West Philippine Sea, home to the Spratly Islands, focal points of the contest. For Manila, islands like Pagasa are not just dots on a map, but integral parts of its territory. The stakes, sovereignty, economic security, and the principles of international law. This fundamental disagreement has made the West Philippine Sea one of the world's most dangerous flashpoints. For years, Pagasa Island was a remote outpost, home to a handful of soldiers and civilians, its facilities battered by storms and time. But now, the island is transforming. The Philippine government is building up both military and civilian infrastructure. A new concrete runway allows larger aircraft to land, ending the island's isolation. A modern port now shelters naval and Coast Guard vessels, enabling consistent maritime presence. These upgrades are lifelines for both defense and the civilian community. New barracks, improved communications, and power facilities are rising. Pagasa is becoming a self-sustaining community and a strategic hub. The message to Beijing is clear. The Philippines is here to stay. These structures are tangible assertions of sovereignty and commitment. Pagasa is no longer just a symbol, it's a beacon of resolve in the West Philippine Sea. The Philippines knows it cannot match China's military might. Instead, Manila's strategy is occupation and persistent development, a quiet war of presence in the gray zone between peace and war. While China builds artificial islands and militarizes the sea, the Philippines strengthens its hold on Pagasa, a naturally formed island it has occupied for decades. The goal, make its presence so solid and visible that it cannot be ignored or easily dislodged. Every new building, every flight, every ship is a quiet assertion of control. By fostering a thriving civilian community and maintaining a constant presence, the Philippines aims to normalize its administration. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Persistence over power. Manila wants the world to see Pagasa as an integral part of the Philippines, not a disputed outpost. The strategy: outlast the pressure, reinforce legitimacy, and prove resilience. In the long run, steady occupation may prove stronger than artificial fortresses. In 2013, the Philippines took China to the Permanent Court of Arbitration, seeking legal clarity under UNCLOS. The 2016 ruling was a landmark victory. China's 9-dash line was declared baseless, and the Philippines' rights within its exclusive economic zone were affirmed. But legal victory on paper is one thing, enforcing it at sea is another. China rejected the ruling, calling it waste paper, and intensified its activities. The tribunal has no enforcement power, and Chinese vessels continue to harass Filipino fishermen and block resupply missions. This creates a dangerous disconnect: legal and moral high ground versus the reality of might making right. The ruling is a diplomatic tool for Manila, but offers little protection on the water. The challenge turned legal victory into tangible reality, so the rule of law, not force, prevails. For now, the Philippines and its allies must find ways to make international law matter at sea. The struggle continues, both in courtrooms and on the waves. Beyond soldiers and strategy, Pag-asa Island is home to a small, resilient civilian community, the municipality of Calayan. Fishermen, government workers and families live here, transforming Pag-asa from a garrison into a living Filipino town. Life is tough, supplies are scarce, water and electricity limited, and Chinese ships loom on the horizon, yet the community endures, bound by patriotism and purpose. Their presence is a cornerstone of the Philippines' legal claim, proving Pag-asa is a true island, not just a military outpost. The laughter of children and daily routines are acts of national assertion. These civilians are on the front line, their commitment sending a powerful message. Pag-asa is home. This human dimension gives the Philippine position profound moral weight. The West Philippine Sea standoff unfolds under the shadow of the U.S.-Philippines alliance. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty binds the two nations, and Washington has clarified, an armed attack on Philippine forces in the South China Sea will trigger U.S. commitments. This security guarantee is a powerful deterrent, allowing Manila to assert its rights with greater confidence. Joint exercises, intelligence sharing, and U.S. naval patrols reinforce the alliance and signal resolve to Beijing. But the alliance is a delicate balance, relying too much on the U.S. risks provoking China and entangling the Philippines in great power rivalry. Manila seeks to use the partnership as a shield, not a sword, preserving its own autonomy. For the U.S., upholding the treaty is a test of credibility in the Indo-Pacific. The standoff is now a central arena for U.S.-China strategic competition. The alliance shapes every move, adding complexity to an already volatile situation. For the Philippines, it's about deterrence and space to pursue its own strategy. For the U.S., it's about maintaining trust with allies across the region. The shadow of this alliance looms large over the contested waters. The contest over Pag-asa Island ripples far beyond the Philippines and China. It's a microcosm of a larger struggle for influence in the Indo-Pacific, threatening Southeast Asia's stability. Other claimants, like Vietnam and Malaysia, watch closely, while ASEAN's unity is tested by China's economic leverage. Regional diplomacy struggles as negotiations for a binding code of conduct stall. The implications are global. Freedom of navigation is challenged, and major powers increase their naval presence to uphold international order. If China's actions go unchecked, it sets a dangerous precedent worldwide. The standoff carries economic costs, deterring investment, disrupting supply chains, and threatening food security for coastal communities. The West Philippine Sea has become a source of insecurity, casting a long shadow over the region's future. Today, Pag-asa Island stands as more than a contested outpost. It's a symbol of Philippine resolve. Every plane that lands, every ship that docks, every child in school is a testament to the nation's determination. The struggle here pits international law against raw power. The Philippines, armed with the 2016 ruling, pursues resilience, not conflict, but steadfast refusal to abandon its rights. The island's development is a quiet, defiant statement. Sovereignty cannot be erased by intimidation. Pag-asa is a living community, a military outpost, and a legal statement all in one. The courage of its people embodies a nation's spirit. As the sun sets over the West Philippine Sea, the Philippine flag flies, a beacon of hope and endurance. For now, Pag-asa stands as a small but unyielding bastion of sovereignty, a powerful symbol of a nation's will to hold its ground.